Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to your class with yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Welcome back to another ride, right? Uh, okay. Gonna gonna be dealing with a real important subject, and the subject is going to be based on. Let me just say, even though it's not titled this way, let me say it's going to be based on our young black men in our community, and in this particular area of life, it's going to be based on that. And so this paper is called "How Do Young Black Men Define Manhood in Their Life Today?" and "How do young men define manhood in their life today?" Okay, all right. Strap your seatbelts on again too. I want to just put that out. And before we go into the paper, I would like to invite you to my channel. It's called Domestic Violence with the Counselor, Mr. James Horton on YouTube. Domestic Violence with the Counselor, Mr. James Horton on YouTube. And you'll see the title, in front, right here. You can, if you forget. All right? And I'd just like you to check in and, follow along with me and put some thumbs up and, some opinions, what you feel about the material and the many topics that I bring to a particular channel, okay? It says, how do young men define manhood in their life today? In our world today, in what many people call the new millennium, there seems to be a breed of young males transitioning into what they say and believe is manhood. In the old days, when a boy was becoming a man, it was a lot different, mainly because of the family structure and the dyad of having a mother and a father in the home and all the dynamics that took place, like the role of the father and what it was to be a man. Ask yourself questions, all right? Number one says, what age does a boy become a man? Does anybody know? Like, what age does a boy become a man? What age was it when you all say you became a man? What age was? Some of us said, hey, I was helping mama at a time when I was like 11 years old, like myself. Didn't mean I was a man, but I was going around after watching a movie called Claudine, where there was a garbage man who came into a woman's life who had several kids, and the garbage man was helping out, and I remember that being a role in my mind on how I can help mama out since daddy wasn't really available. All right, so it's interesting. So I remember knocking on the doors of apartment complexes, asking the people, and many ladies would answer the door and asking them if they needed their garbage emptied. I remember taking the garbage to the garbage pump. I remember making about $35 and bringing it to mama and say, here, mama, and doing manly things that my father wasn't doing or even able to do in the state he was in. So, yeah, I know we can fool ourselves in believing that there's a certain age, particularly a direct age one is when we become a man. So, the question is still, what age? What age for you? Okay, number two. Does anyone believe when you first got a woman pregnant or a girl pregnant that it was what made you a man? When you first got a person pregnant, right? Does anyone believe when you first got a woman pregnant that it was what made you a man? Sometimes those are the conversations what little boys have. They got them some, and the girl says she's pregnant, and people are like really astounded and wow, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I seriously doubt that's what makes us a man, especially when it comes to feeding that baby, especially when it comes to taking care of that baby. I beg to differ on that particular question. Okay, number three. Does anyone believe Only a real man can impregnate a woman and help make a boy, right? Have you heard that one? Like, have you heard that one? Because, it's like, to the male group, many of us believe it makes us grow hair on our chest because the child came out being a boy, as though the male dictates what the sex is of the child. Not true. It's not true. So just opening some areas up. So if you find yourself in those kind of conversations, you might want to do a little schooling in the area of what and who dictates what the sex is. And I would say God dictates if it's going to be a male or a female. But you might know something different. So I'll let you handle that one. All right? Number 4. Did anyone learn how to be a man by their father? Yes or no? Did anyone learn how to be a man does anyone believe, did anyone learn how to be a man by their father? Yes or no? Right? So, everybody say they're a man, but I just want to know, like, who did you learn to be a man from? Like, who role modeled for you how to be a man? Did you just be born a male and, at a certain period of time you say, I'm a man now, mama. I'm a man now, sis. Like, who gave you the stripes? Right? Number 5. What were 3 main things your father or What were 3 main things your father or stand-in father taught you about being a man? Right? Now I say your father or step-in father because there's a lot of fathers missing, right? And so the question is, what did the male father or the stand-in stepfather teach you about being a man? Right? Like what? Hopefully there was something. And then what were 3 main things your father or stand-in father taught you about being a man? So, I just want to know 3. I'm just asking for 3. Now, if you got 15 to 20, that's good. But I'm just asking for 3. Okay, number 6. If you answered no to question 4, that your father didn't raise you to be a man, and if you answer no to question 4, that your father didn't raise you to be a man, who and what did your teachers look like? Like, if they didn't raise you to be a man, what did your teachers look like? Like, who was they? If there wasn't a stepdaddy, if there wasn't a real daddy, who did they look like? Did they look like mama? Did they look like auntie? Did they look like Uncle JoJo and them, or Uncle Bub and them? Was it like grandma and them, or was it the streets? Like, what was these role models, and who were they that you seemed to put in the place of daddy? Like, just a question, right? So number 7. Did any one of the people who raised you teach you that real men go to jail and prison and don't have to pay rent or PG&E? Like, did any of the people who raised you teach you that real men go to jail and prison and don't have to pay PG&E or rent, right? Did any of them, like, did they teach you that? Because I'm saying this because I know, and we know, and you all know that there's some bad information going around, right? When you see bad behavior, it's connected to some bad information. It's connected to some bad teaching, right? Some false teaching, some unreal teaching, because it's not the reality of how things should go. It's not like the old school. It's a different breed of information, right? Now, did they teach you that? Because some people got stripes, when it comes to, being a man. Some people got penitentiary stripes when it comes to being a man, right? Some people got large phone bills, right, from prison, right? I mean, collect call phone bills from prison when it comes to being a man, right? Some people are in debt because they haven't paid them phone bills, right? So it's like, is that really what makes you a man? Some people say, I always been there for my baby, right? But if I'm in prison, right, am I really there for my baby? Some people say, that's been my breezy for a long time, right? And for the last, so many years. It reminds me of a class I had with an individual. The individual say he just finished doing 8 years, right? I said 8 years, right? He said, and he been with his woman for, for 8 years. I said, really? I said, so, when, and I started using some math on him, and I was like, okay, well, I think he said he been with her 7.5 years, something of a sort. And when I broke it down to the gentleman, I was telling him, you probably been with your woman for somewhat like maybe 6 months out of the, 6 months out of the 8 years, right? Depending on the time that you done in jail. I said, if you was in jail, bruh, right, as I would tell you all, if you were in jail and your woman is not in jail with you, then you ain't really with her, right? You really don't know what's going on when you're in jail. I'm not knocking putting no jackets on the sisters and nothing, but you don't know. And she don't know what you doing when you in jail. So, you can come up with all kind of stories. But relationships are relationships where you come as one, where you are together, right, as one, where you in the same home even, and taking care of the same bills, not, free PG&E over here and, a big bill over here. So this is, right? Okay, number 8. Does anyone believe real men beat unfaithful women that lie and cheat? Yes or no? Does anyone believe real men beat, or real women beat their man or beat their... Do you believe that makes you real, right? Do you believe that makes you real if you can choke somebody out? If you can put some fingerprints on their neck? I mean, does that make you a man, right? Are you a man? Are you man enough to like walk away when it starts getting hot in the oven, right? When the oven is getting hotter and hotter and you got to turn the stove off. Right, when the whole house is hot because you got the stove and the heater on at the same time. I mean, I think it makes you more of a man if you just let it go. Don't beat your love. Don't beat what you love, right? Right? And if you love yourself, don't beat you up, right? Okay, now, number 9. Does anyone believe when someone hurts your feelings that violence is the only solution for solving your problems? Does anyone believe when someone hurts your feelings that violence is the only solution for solving your problems? Oh man, it's like it's a lot of name callings, right? It's a lot of name callings. Somebody call you the B word. Somebody call you the H word. I mean, and so boom, many of you are fired up. Many of you want to go for the kill, right? So it's like, it's like you think there's only one solution to this thing. But my solution is stop answering to those names, right? If you know the name is not you, if you know it doesn't fit you, if you set and convinced and confident in you and your ways, then you don't have to answer to that. You don't have to hurt nobody. You don't have to hurt nobody, man. You can just let it ride, let it fly, right? I'm just trying to teach you something, right? You can save yourself a lot of trouble, save others trouble, and keep your hands to yourself, right? You got bigger fish to fry, bigger fish to fry. Number 10, has anyone ever thought about or wanted to or actually ran from their position or responsibility of being a man. Have you ever like just ran from your responsibilities and stuff like that of being a man? You know, I mean, like, you know, baby girl says she pregnant, right? And you know that you guys been together all the time, you know, every day even, right? She even moved in your mama house, right? And then she says she pregnant. And all of a sudden you want to get moms to put her out, right? You want to jump on a train and just go somewhere. You know, you make up a story that somebody's looking for you, right? And you just want to run because it can be real scary when you find out you probably really are not a man yet, right? Because to be a man, it's a lot of responsibilities in raising a child, right? And you want to put your best into that child. You want to get some best to be able to have some best, to deliver some best that you are to put in your baby, right? So it's understandable if you don't have it yet, right? So it might make you want to wait a little bit. You know, get it together before you start making big plans, right? That's going to hold you, right, for a long time, right? Number 11, has anyone ever thought or believed if you kill someone that would make you a man? Have you ever just thought if you take that weapon, if you take that automatic weapon, if you take that pipe and just beat somebody down, burn somebody down, whatever, right? Just do some vicious stuff that can really get the attention of a whole lot of people, get the attention of the audience, right? Because most people, man, not everybody, but lots of people will need an audience to be somebody, right? They haven't found that somebody in themselves, that confidence in themselves where they can just sit here or sit in a chair all by themselves and know they're somebody. They need the audience, right? So did you ever think if you just shoot somebody in front of everybody, shoot somebody in front of all the witnesses and all that they would know that you a man? Have you ever believed that that's what makes you a man? Hopefully not. That's what makes you kind of sick and need some help. That's why I'm here. Yours truly, the counselor. All right? Number 12. Does anyone feel or believe having more than one woman at a time makes you a real man? Or do you now know it puts you in position to get 52 weeks of domestic violence classes? Yes or no? Yes or no, player, right? One more time. Does anyone feel or believe having more than one woman at a time makes you a real man, or do you now know it puts you in position to get 52 weeks of domestic violence classes? Yes or no, player? Yes or no, right? I mean, it's going to get you in trouble. It's a messy deal. It's a messy deal. And it's a diverting deal when you're trying to have more than one somebody in your life. It diverts you from your goals. It diverts you from becoming who you want to be when you grow up, right? Oh, it takes you way off track because you're so busy over here with that one, over here with that one, and then they be like, man, when you gonna finish school, man? When you gonna go on and finish something, right? You know, what was the last time well, I'm gonna get my GED when I get a little break from all going here and going there. I mean, come on, man. Come on now. Let's just keep it real. What is diverting you from becoming the full you? What is? Is it being a player? Is it having a whole bunch so you can impress the guys to make the guys feel that you're doing better than they are, right? I mean, is it really filling the void? Is it really filling the hole that you have inside of you? Have you examined that? There is something wrong, right? Something missing, right? And I don't think it's having a whole bunch of somebodies, right? Okay, number 13. We're going to close this out. Here are several different ways we can run from our position of manhood. We can run when we go to jail. We can run to alcohol, drugs, lying to self and others, and abandonment and laziness. These are examples of running from the responsibility of locking into what one would call manhood. All right, that's gonna be it. Again, check my channel out. Stay with me. Stay supporting what I got coming out. You know, and I'm hoping to motivate many of you so you can step your game up, right, and help in this process of getting our thing together, getting our community together, getting our lives together. All right, thank you for attending my group.